What's up my people, JaxB.TheRipper here. So today we're going to be doing Metal Monthly Favorites. I've been listening to a lot, but there's like a lot that I didn't even like go back to, so I'm just gonna see if maybe they'll get included for like next month's Metal Around the World, that is. So we'll see how it goes, but regardless, I feel like these ones should be taking up more of the video anyways. I'd rather have like a few good ones that I enjoy than having a bunch of them and then there's like a lot that I don't enjoy when really I should probably give them a good chance. So let's just do it like that. Let's talk about the first band, Spell. Now Spell got introduced to me through TikTok. Obviously the guy, I believe it was Al Lester's TikTok. The song Lilac kind of like hit hard on TikTok, so, and I got very curious to hear more of them because I believe it's just a single that came out this year. So I went ahead and listened to Tragic Kingdom. That one came out, I believe, in 2024. Honestly, it took me a while to get into it, but one of the best. Boston meets Blue Oyster Cult, but yet having that traditional metal kind of thing. Haunt as well. Only thing is Haunt has a little bit more of that SoCal vibe. I wouldn't really say Spell has that. They sometimes switch it to like a gothy sound too, like depending which single or which song, and that's where the other singer comes in. Cam Mesmer, I believe that's his name. Oh my god, where'd you go? There you are. Like the song A Waxing Moon, that sounds a lot more gothic-y, to tell you the truth, but still with like that classic rock kind of sound to it. So Take My Life was one of the ones that came out this year. That one's like very like kind of like 80s hair inspiring kind of sound. Wretched Heart was a little bit more slower, but you definitely heard that Maiden sound in it for sure. Lilac was a little bit more majestic-y sounding, if I could say so myself. Honestly, they all have like almost every song has that majestic kind of sound to it, to tell you the truth. My favorites for sure this year so far. Poppy, Empty Hands. So they're following Empty Spaces, which came out in 2024, I believe. People went nuts for the song Empty Hands. Who knows, Poppy might be going to grindcore soon. At least that's what it sounds like, because that's how she ended it on a pig squeal, and people went completely nuts. Because I think it's safe to say, which I kind of love though, like when you see Poppy, you just don't expect any of these sounds coming out of her. Poppy is very good at adopting and blending in genres. Like I believe she started off like pop soundy kind of. I'm not very familiar with her old stuff, but I know people were saying like she was more on the pop side when she was nominated for like a Grammy, I think in 2021. It was like the first, like, I don't want to say the first, but I believe it was just the fact that she was representing metalcore, but then there was also like, people didn't know how they felt about that because she comes from the pop background. It was kind of like Nyorke. Nyorke also came from like the pop background as well, and I think she was like a Ralph Lauren model or something, so people don't really like take kindly to that. I do. I don't care if even Ralph Lauren models like fucking metal music, so what? And her vocals change throughout actually almost every album I've heard of her, like the last 3. 1 minute it's gonna be clean, 1 minute it's gonna sound like those metal growls and screams. Like she could really scream, that girl, she really can. My favorite song on there will probably have to be Eat the Hate. I like the lyrics, that's why. First of all, that one kind of threw me off. I feel like I say this all the time when it comes to like some kind of like SoCal sound, because I'm listening to a genre where I'm not really expecting that, that's why. But for example, like, not only does the song starts off, very SoCal, skate punk kind of sound. I felt like I was back in like 2000. Like I felt like I was back in 1999, between that to 2003 probably, or 2004, before the emo epidemic took off. So I felt like I was in that era again. And the lyrics I just like, is I like how she goes, eat the hate, it makes me come, use your tongue to clean it up. So definitely was into that. Dying to Forget, we all know that's just going to be the mosh pit to the festivals. We already know that. I think she set the tone for that. Black Label Society, Engines of Demolition. Now, are they reinventing the wheel with this? No. Can they still sound like that groove, southern rock, hard rock type of metal, and still make it sound as a refreshing sound? Absolutely. I honestly haven't listened to Black Label Society since 2012, I believe. And it's been a while, because I've been on I want to say that was the year where I just found so much new metal music that I just expanded outside the Pantera, Megadeth horizon. So I think that's just the reason why. I haven't been back to them lately, but lately I've been in that like southern rock, groove metal type of listening, trad metal as always. Probably because of Black Label Society, which is why I got more into it. The songs that I enjoyed most was obviously Ozzy's song, Broken Pieces, Better Days and Wiser Times. I kind of like the whininess in his voice sometimes. I just feel like he does a good job at it with the whole somber notes and everything. I really like his voice when it comes to like slower songs. And we all know how I am when it comes to metal songs and like, you know, me and like it's sounding too slow, unless it's like atmospheric or something, but at least like atmospherics, the vocals are like harsh and stuff. But we all know how I feel like when metal music out of nowhere just turns kind of slow. But for Zakk Wylde's vocals, I think it suits him so well because he has that southern boy kind of like, you know, style and everything. I mean, In This River and Last Goodbye from Mafia and Shot to Hell are like good examples, which are albums I was revisiting as well. Hellripper Coronach. Okay, tell me why I got so excited when I heard the cowbell in Mortician. I believe that's the name of the song. I might be saying it wrong, but it looks like Mortician in me. If you haven't seen the music video, go see it. It was actually really good. It's their 4th studio album. It's also one of the albums with that the title of it is not a whole sentence. Mortician, Black Satanic Fuckstorm, Coronach were probably one of my favorite songs to listen to. Oh no, wait, I'm almost forgetting to do the heat protecting. That was the Art of Resurrection, as well as just the whole album. Look, the whole album, look, the thing that makes Hellripper so good, I think, is because he loves a variety of bands from like Megadeth, Venom, old school Venom obviously, I even hear like some southern rock in there. That, or maybe I just love southern rock so much right now that it's just bleeding into it. No, I looked it up. Somebody said they heard some Lynyrd Skynyrd in there. The one band I don't give a fuck about when it comes to southern rock. But it's like he combines these bands and then just marries it with black metal. So a lot of them are more like on the thrashier side, but then he just marries it with black metal. But he doesn't make it like that raw metal sound, but yet it has some influence in it. But almost every song on here is very versatile. I haven't ordered the vinyl yet. I know like I order almost everything from, from Hellripper. You know, you guys know who have been following me, you guys know my little situation right now, you know, with, you know, being on unemployment. I can't just splurge on whatever I want. But as you could tell, oh no, I'm not a Hellripper fan, absolutely not, no. What makes you think that? I don't understand. I don't understand what makes you think I'm a Hellripper. No, absolutely not. But I just love the folklore that he adds, and I'm into folklore. I fucking love, especially the European shit. I am into it because, you know, being a pagan witch, you love that shit, you know, you just fucking love it because there's some truth to it. So it's just like, I fucking, oops, no, doesn't go that way. No, do not take hair advice from me. Absolutely not. No, it is the other way. That's really what makes him a successful band, because he has like all this love for so many of these bands that kind of vary between like the thrash, heavy, trad to black, and then he just combines it with just black metal, and I think that's why it just never sounds boring, his taste, you know. This one, people have said that at least like each song sounds like, you know, a variety of something different, but it blends it. He's really good at that. James, his name is James, in case you guys don't know, that's his name, James, from Scotland. Okay, that's why it's Hellripper Scotland. Tail Gunner, Midnight Blitz. Okay, so this band is from the UK, since we're sticking to the UK here. This album came out in February. Now, I have heard of them in the past. I just never got around to them or anything like that. But they're a damn good band. They are basically like, you could hear Iron Maiden and Def Leppard married into this album, to tell you the truth. It's very like a powerful, like I want to say it's even a little bit of power metal, but it's basically just your traditional British heavy metal, basically, as I could say. Eye of the Storm is also another one that has like a that has a little bit of like Avenged Sevenfold in it. I was like, wait, this is a little off, right? But again, it's a band that's able to make, you know, add a little bit here and there of other stuff and blend it into the old classic. You know, I think it's safe to say sometimes we need stuff like that. That way it doesn't sound repetitive, you know? So I think that's why this band really caught my eye. You know, you're thinking very 80s, think of like 80s movies, you know, stuff like that. It has the synth to it as well. I don't think this one came out right, but again, no, it has the clamp to it. No, okay, no, I gotta do this one again. I believe they only have like 3 full-length albums, or 2. I think it's 2 actually, my bad. But yeah, go check them out, because this is a pretty, like, a powerful, strong sounding kind of band. Like, it kept me entertained the whole time. Now this album, Insidium, came out in 2023. The reason why I decided to check them out was because Dreadful Minute Rick here on YouTube, he sent me like a little package filled with some stuff of newer music and stuff like that. And one of them was a long sleeve of Witching, and I was like, oh, I never heard of them. So I went to go look them up and everything. It's like black doom and sludge and prog. I'm not into prog or doom metal, but when they stick to the black metal side, that shit is very good. I love the venomous sounding vocals. But here's the thing. Now, mind you, this is just my little, my point of view. I know a lot of people love this band, so I'm not telling you at all, my crazy self right here, not telling you at all not to listen to this band. Don't ever take it that way, especially because I do believe this band's really good. I just don't like doom metal and prog, so I heard that with the vocals. So the vocals 1 minute will be this screeching, venomous sound that I love so much that even throw me back to like old school Mayhem, and then it goes to this doom side. I'm like, eh. And then with the vocals sounding very slow and like, and then it just drops from there, and I'm just like, eh. I was like, no, not into that. But I am willing to give them another shot when they come out with new material, so long as it just doesn't go to doom metal and prog rock. If it does, then I'm just gonna say that the Insidium one was probably just the best one. Now for some non-related metal music. The one thing I do want to mention is this band called the Proto-Man. So I waited 16 years for Act 3 to finally come down. I'm not kidding you. I waited 16 fucking years for this fucking album to finally come out. So if you don't know who the Proto-Man, if you know what a Proto-Man is, which is what gives the name the Proto-Man, is from, Mega Man, the video game. Now, I'm not like a video game nerd, especially when it comes to Mega Man, but I remember the cartoon as a kid vaguely, very vaguely. So I was like in shock when they told me that there's this acapella, like rock opera 80s synth band dedicated to this story, and I'm just like, huh? Act 1, if you listen to Act 1, is more, it has that southernness to it with the rock opera. So that's what you're going to hear. That one is basically about, Dr. Light making Proto-Man, and how, and this is this dystopian world. It has a dystopian sound to it. And the people don't help out Proto-Man when he basically gets killed, and Dr. Wily kidnaps him and like makes him into one of his henchmen or whatever, right? And Mega Man wants to save the world, but then he sees the dark side of humanity and sees why Proto-Man did not want to continue saving them. Let's just say that. Act 2 is the father of death, so it talks more about the two doctors on why they made androids. Let's call them androids, robots, whatever you want to call them. Dr. Light wanted to make them that way they could work out like in the coal mines, so people don't have to like kill themselves, because his father died in the coal mines. But then he starts seeing that it's taking work. Now here's the thing with this album. There's a lot of reading. Like, you do have to read it, even in like the digital tracks. Like, you have to like read, oh my god, what is it called? Basically, when they're not singing, when it's just the song itself, you have to read the material. And I heard some people are having a hard time getting that. Honestly, I just did a Google search and it took me to the websites where I could read it, because you're not going to get the whole story if you're not reading in between the tracks where it's just like it's slow. You gotta get the whole story. So yes, this is basically like a play that you guys are reading. So because there is a lot of story, there's always a new character and you're like, who's this character? But then you don't know what happens to them. It's a lot. But then this shows why they get the helmet and do, Mega Man, right? Or Proto-Man. And Act 3 is fine. I waited 16 years, you guys. So they now added a female protagonist in this. She's looking for help. She's looking for Mega Man. Mega Man's like, I'm done with humanity. Fuck humanity, right? And Dr. Light tries to kill Dr. Wily, or tries to go after him. And at the end, you guys, there's a cliffhanger. There's a cliffhanger because we're pretty sure he got hung. And Mega Man's trying to save him, and he gets hung. So we think that's what's going to set Mega Man to want to save humanity again, or at least get avenged for Dr. Light. So I don't know. And we don't know if the female protagonist is Roll. We're not sure. Oh my goodness, I forgot to show you the poppy vinyl. Hold on, let me turn on the light again. Let me turn on, that is too bright. Here's the poppy vinyl. Obviously the color is gonna be very different with this one compared to like the one you get on her website, which is like pictorial. This is more of, oh, it's so Easter, and today's Easter. Love it, right there. Take a good look. Yeah, forgot to show you that. I should have like put that in. But anyways, what have you guys been listening to? Let me know down below. Tell me everything. How's your guys' lives? Don't forget to watch my previous stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video.